Hi, my name is Dr. Toy, and I'm here to talk about the PER 2000. I got to tell you, as little as 5-6 weeks ago, I'd never heard of this technology, and I met Josh at the Pro Sport Chiropractic Convention, and heard ticking going on, and had to see what was going on. And so Josh answered all my questions, and he gave me a free trial for the last couple weeks. And in all honesty, this thing is blowing me away. I haven't added anything new to my office for umpteen years. Probably the most powerful thing that I've had in here is laser, and laser is amazing. But the stuff that we've seen with this machine has exceeded all my expectations. Josh talked about the results, the science and all that, and that's all fine and dandy, but it's not until you see it for yourself that you're like, oh my gosh, this thing is legit. And I've only had it in my office for about 5 weeks. I work with quite a few athletes. I really have a family practice that I love. I like working from kids to geriatric, but I've got a special passion for the athletes. And so anyhow, last week on Monday, one of my professional riders crashed and actually fractured his rib. So I told him about this machine, how it is stronger than any laser, any bone stimulator. I said, but the bottom line is it's fractured. I said, so I don't want you to get your hopes up. He was hoping to, of course, race as soon as possible. And I said, listen, science shows this thing's going to heal your fracture in a third to half the time. So I said, instead of normal 4 to 6, best case scenario 2 to 3. I said, so I just want to put it out there. I said, I want you to think you're going to be racing anytime soon. So he came in Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Thursday, he's sitting here getting it done. I asked him how he's feeling. He said he rode all day that day. He had a big smile on his face. I was blown away. Again, yet something amazing that I heard could happen, and to experience in my office was just amazing. His dad was pumped, so he raced San Diego just this past weekend. And so that was one that happened last week. Another one, 2 guys, one of them was actually my brother-in-law, but both of them had rotator cuff tears. My brother-in-law, 5 sessions, he's done, he's doing really good. The other guy, lifter, he actually had a slap tear. He actually had a full thickness tear and a supraspinatus, and so on paper he needed surgery. And so he read about this technology, and I told him about it, and so unfortunately the guy's well-to-do, so he came in every single day for 2 weeks. At that point he went into the ortho. Ortho did his full exam on the guy. He goes, whatever you're doing, keep it up. He goes, you do not need surgery. So he's in here still, wants to come in every day, big smile on his face. As he's sitting here, he's telling all the patients about how awesome this thing is working. And probably the most miraculous one, if you want to call it that right now, is one of my patients who a year and a half ago became blind in one eye. And so I sent Josh a text. I said, hey, you guys have any success with any blindness conditions, eye conditions? And Josh said, they've had a lot of success with certain retina conditions, when it's due to circulation. So my patient got the information. He's like, gosh, he goes, it seems to me that it would help regenerate nerve cells, eye cells, retina cells. He goes, what do I got to lose? He goes, my wife, basically cries every week knowing that my eyesight has not come back. And so I said, I got nothing to lose. I said, it's going to be slow. I said, it's going to be one of those chronic conditions. You can count on 2 to 3 months. So anyhow, he bought a package. And I didn't want to ask him every single time, how you doing? Because I just knew the results really weren't going to be there. So just this past week, his 7th session, I said, you know what? I go, how's your eye doing? And he looks at me, he goes, Dr. Toy, he goes, the little vision that he had has now doubled. And so he was blown away, I was blown away, and I can only imagine that with further sessions, we're going to bring a lot of his eyesight back. And so anyhow, this thing has far exceeded my expectations. I bought it, and I actually asked Josh, how does it work for plantar fasciitis? Because my wife has plantar fasciitis. And I told my wife, I said, if all I do is get this machine for you, then it's worth it. Scored me a lot of brownie points there. And so anyhow, she's only had, I think, about 4 sessions on it, and she's back to walking almost pain-free, and so anyhow, that in itself was worth it. For myself personally, I've had fun playing with this thing, and definitely the more you play with it, you're just juicing a lot of spots. And so, basically I went through some major detox, which was awesome, but that's just a side benefit of it. But I had a knee tendonitis because I started to run again, and after just one session on it, my knee tendonitis was gone. And I know you guys are going to watch other videos about other chiropractors talking about their back pain, their shoulder pain. And yeah, doing chiropractic for almost 30 years, it's like, I put this thing on my shoulder and the pain that comes on from my day of work and is gone. And so this machine is awesome. I love it. Give it a try. Guys, the results speak for themselves. And so it's almost like you don't have to sell it. You just present the facts, the science, what it is, how it works, conditions that it treats. You give your patients, the first session complimentary, and you let the results speak for themselves, and you'll be amazed that patients are just going to be buying up sessions. And so it's going to be a win-win. Your patients are going to be happy. The word that I hear a lot beside results is hope. And so your patients are going to have hope, and you're just going to see your bottom line increase. And so it's just a win-win all the way around. So anyhow, hope that helps. I love it. Have any questions? I mean, of course, you're going to have Josh's number, but feel free to hit me up, and I'll talk to you about it and things that I've done just to make it really successful. Thanks.